Welcome back to the Speedfire Fab channel. We got the Scout back in the shop. We're working on the exhaust. In the last episode, we put the new headers in. In this episode, we're going to be running all the pipes underneath. Didn't quite get it all done and couldn't quite make it in the one episode, so it's going to be basically split into two more, but I tried to show y'all as much fabrication as possible, not leave out the good stuff, so let's get right into it. See how close we are. A little bit too low. I think we're going to take, say, 3 inches off of it. Well, you can't want them all. We're in a little spot right there. But I'm going to send it. All right. I feel like that's one of the harder parts. Got to decide if I want to run the Vibrant resonator and then the Spintech, or I like the sound of a Spintech, but part of me also wants a little bit quieter. A little bit quieter and not quite as raspy. I mean, that looked pretty decent. Kind of like that though. both of those are slip fit connectors. Yeah. Like we're a little bit long, which is good. You need to take about, I don't know, half an inch off of that. Look about right to y'all. So on that last cut, I threw the blade, broke the blade actually. Nice little cut there. Whole bunch of aluminum shavings packed in these little covers. So I took the covers off, new blade. So much better. It's a pretty decent fit too. Now, does it fit? All right. You're about 100 pounds of crap in a 20-pound bag here. But we got plenty of clearance. Plenty of clearance for the insulation. My plan, I have a hanger right there to keep this off of that cross member. I don't know how well that's going to work. Not on the side like that, but I don't really have a choice. So what we're going to do. The only other option is maybe put it right here, but I don't really want it hanging on the body there. I really have it on the frame, so we're going to try it. We're going to see what happens. Now the crazy plan, if I have enough room, I'm going to 90 that up. We're going to build some kind of Y, merge pipe, whatever. One going out that way, one going out that way. I'm going to go through that metal and then side exit both sides. That's the plan anyways. Like I said, I don't know if it'll fit, but I want to try. All right. Got a couple stops here just so I can keep these in the same plane. Gonna take a little bit of metal at a time so we like to fit. We got this one pretty well. It's pretty straight right here. But this one dips down in that little valley, and I've got a gap between these two. So, in order to solve that, I just need to keep shaving these down. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. It's not perfect. I think I lost a little bit of my... No, we're not too bad. We lost about a 16th. It's not fitting perfect with my little stops because, again, I cut it slightly wrong in the bend. So what's going to happen is these are going to be, I don't know, be around an 1/8 inch off, but that'll be okay. So I'm going to tack here, tack there, and then we'll flip it over and I'll kind of squeeze that together. All right, it's not too bad. I got a little bit of a gap. It looks pretty straight. A little bit off, but honestly, for where it's going, I think slightly down might actually be better. So we're going to see if we can get some purge in there. We'll weld it out, come up and trim it up later. Might work. All right. That's not perfect, not my best, not my worst. A little bit too much of a gap right here. Got a little sugar on the inside, but hey, it will serve its purpose. I just need to figure out exactly where I need to cut that, where I need to cut these. Definitely don't want to drop it because it's fragile. All right, we got a purge gas in there. Added a couple more tacks. Let's get it wet. These completely welded. I don't love all of them. Some of them ain't bad. I'm not real sure what happened there. She just wanted to keep graying out. Usually I do pretty good in them V-bands. But it's not awful. Could be worse. Nope, we're gonna go put it in and make sure it still fits. We got all that back in pretty well. This muffler needs to go that way. Just a little bit, because I need this elbow to go a little further forward. What I'm thinking, we'll knock these tacks out, trim this muffler back to like here. I can slide that on a little bit further. Probably going to trim this too, because I don't need all that. Get more design if you want to clamp or something like that. I don't need that much real estate to weld, so I think I'm going to trim it. And then we're going to see how that fits. All right, well, we got the muffler cut down. There was supposed to be a video of that, but my dumb self forgot to press the record button, so sorry about that. Can't really go backwards and reenact that. But basically, I put it in the bandsaw, we cut it here, we cut it there, and now we're here. That's as close to a reenactment as I can give. All right, y'all want to hear it or what? Gotta come out before you get squished, though. We're taking bets on whether or not the front section we just got done welding leaks or not. I think it's going to leak. It's going to be at them V-bands. Like I said, them Speed Engineering headers are actually really good quality for what they are, but the V-band clamps themselves are terrible. I'm probably going to buy a heavier duty set. The other bad thing is they don't have the little male and female notch that kind of lock them together. But the Evil Energy Amazon ones do. So at least we'll know the one at the muffler won't leak. All right. Got to put a couple plug wires on that. I'm gonna see if I can get these ones off my CTSV to work, because I didn't buy any. They're almost too short. They're like half an inch too short. Coil pack's that different, probably so. All right, well, we can use the Kevlar sleeve, maybe. Nope. Okay, well, it's not drivable with the factory ones because they're definitely going to burn on the header. But we're going to send it anyways. So I just want to know what it sounds like. The real question is, where did that other one go? Got 4 on that side. There it is. Alright. In business. Dipsticks in. Everything's plugged in. Probably should have taken that 90-degree fitting out. Not blowing up toward the cab. All right, y'all ready? Excited as I am? Probably not. Ready to rattle everything off the lift arms. Or it won't. Oh, yeah. I don't hear any leaks. I'm not gonna let it get too hot. Man, that sounds sweet. Ought to sound even better with the tip sticking out somewhere right there. Little cutoff wheel for reference. Not really looking forward to taking a white pipe back off. Can't believe I forgot O2 sensors. Dang it. Oh well. It is what it is at this point. Just gotta make it right. Start fabbing up the Y pipe to put them out the fenders. That should be fun. The tricky part is we're gonna mount this something like that. Y'all see that? Sort of. And there's gonna have to be a set of V-bands on the 2.5 going out to the tips. And also somewhere right here so that I can take the muffler and resonator section out. Kind of got two options there. Either put it right here. Basically just make a tiny little Y. I could put it down here. Might be better to put it right there. Other thing is I set this up to try to fit up to a 3-inch, which I missed a little bit. Now it fits inside a 3-inch. The problem is I actually have a 2.5 to 3-inch bell reducer. And that's a problem because, you know, that's like 2 7/8. This part right here. Just realized y'all can't actually see that. Nice. So I was saying I have a 2.5 to 3-inch bell reducer that I could put between these two. because ideally I don't want the outlet inside of here because that's going to be a restriction for the exhaust flow. Either want it outside or flush. So probably going to have to modify that a little bit so I can put the reducer on there. Bad thing about that is I already kind of ovaled that. So I'm either going to have to try to unoval it. Probably not possible. Or I'm just going to have to cut a new elbow. So while I wait on that to cool, I'm going to brainstorm this whole mess. And then we'll get back after it. Okay, so I spent way too much time. I cut this back down the middle. Kind of readjusted the whole thing. It's not pretty. I'm not super happy with it. But we're going to have to roll with it. So I'm going to get it welded up. Honestly, I think that might actually work. All right, so now I need a V-band on that. And V-band on this. Cut these, cut those. V-band that. We're in business. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Check back next week for the last and final episode as we finish the exhaust on the Scout. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching.